Good morning, everybody. Elizabeth Smith here again with a very wet 5-minute Cameo coaching set, self-coaching tool for you this morning. And today's entitled, Are You Willing to Be Proved Wrong? I think it's a fascinating one. It's something that I play with quite a lot. And today it's about daring you to challenge those deeply held automatic beliefs, if you like. So what have we got? So are you willing to be proved wrong? AKA, it is about confirmation bias. Okay. Now, let me start off with a couple of questions. How are you feeling about the day ahead of you? Or how are you feeling about the weekend and the events that are facing you? And then what are the thoughts that you are running alongside those feelings? Because this is what we're talking about. This is where we are talking about the injustice that we do to ourselves, the amount of creativity, the amount of pleasure that we actually remove from ourselves, or the possibility of having it from ourselves on a daily basis. So we've got to look at our minds, and our minds, as we all know, are set for familiarity, for pattern matching, for the least amount of effort possible. So nice and efficient, okay? They are your leanest machine in the world. And yet it will only run with what we put in there, okay? So think about it this way. We have created and we take in all the information and we create these perceptions, all right, so that we can make sense of the world. We know this. This is what I've talked about in all the other sort of podcasts and video blogs that I've done. But this is where we look at things that, if you think that get in our way over through life, say for instance, anxiety. You can see it with people who experience anxiety, experience that fear, but there's nothing really attached to the fear. They're just frightened. They're just frightened with life. Phobias, developing phobias, anger. Anger we never talk about, but anger's in there. Anger's in there with all of that, and the lack of confidence. And people talk about confidence as if it's a thing, and it's not a thing. It's not tangible. It is an experience. Okay, so all of what I've just said is all about experience. So think about our little monkey brains, and we all have these lovely little monkey brains. And yes, we've evolved, but in actual fact, our brains have not been reinvented. It's like an onion. So there's a layer on a layer on a layer as we have developed our brains and our thinking and our intelligence. So those little monkey brains are still in there. They're still playing blasted tricks on us all the time. So think about no matter, how can I put it? There's a lovely little adage, isn't it? It's better the devil you know. And there's a reason why we come up with these little things, these little quotes and quotations, is because actually it tells a much bigger story. Better the devil you know. So you stay in a very painful place. Doesn't matter how painful, but because it's familiar to you, because it takes very little effort for you, you maintain it. And you see it in marriages, in relationships, in work. You know, people are, I think Les Brown, who I just adore, talks about dying together, not living together. And because it's familiar, because it's safe, doesn't matter it's not very nice or it's not very happy, you stay there. So for us today, and for the purpose of self-development and self-coaching, I want you just to see just how much of this actually is evident in your life, and just how much time you spend seeking the evidence to prove you are right, because we love being right. We hate being wrong. It's not a human thing. We don't want to be proved wrong, because then we kick ourselves all around the houses, don't we? But how much time do we go out there looking for evidence? I told you so. I told you that would happen. I told you if I did this, this would happen. And it's that we keep doing, all right, in order to reconfirm it's safer to stay where we are. It's safer to stay with anxiety than actually say, calm down. It's easier to stay with a phobia because it maintains safety. Now, this is not about giving yourself a really hard time. It's actually honor what your brain has been doing all this time. Honor how you feel, acknowledge how you feel. It's, it's an important part of the journey. All right. But what I want to do is I want to invite you to spend some time just observing what thoughts you use to maintain where you're at. So if you've got an event or you've got something facing you today that you say, for instance, you've got a meeting with a co-worker and you cannot bear this co-worker. Okay. Work out what evidence it is that suggests you don't like that person. And is it the person you don't like, or is it the characteristics? If you are facing a work today and you just don't want to get up this morning and go into work, just figure out what thoughts, what evidence are you putting there in order to maintain, I hate my job. All right. Now, I suppose what I'm trying to think of again is just how committed are you to hating that job? How committed are you to loathing your partner? Just how committed are you to maintaining anxiety? Do you want to own it? Do you want to keep it close by you? What is the benefits? And it's one of my favorite things and presuppositions that I hold on to is every behavior has a positive intention. And I said it the other day in a leadership group that I was in, a training session. And the looks on a couple of people's faces was horrified that I would forgive or I would accept somebody's behavior because it had a positive intention. And I want you to play with that because, like I said, this is self-development. This is self-coaching. This is about moving on and becoming or enjoying life more and having more opportunities out there. And it is about being humble enough to open yourself up to the possibility of new beliefs. I wish you well. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you think anybody would benefit or get value from this, and I hope you did, please share it and give me some comments. It would be lovely to know you're there. Okay. Have a lovely one. See you soon. Bye-bye.